Beautiful souls, welcome to another episode of the Quantum Alchemy podcast. So I'm actually really excited today to announce another one of our retreat co-hosts, Jennifer Lee. Super excited to have her. So Jennifer is a certified Reiki practitioner specializing in relaxation, releasing negative energy, healing from past trauma, chakra balancing, and improving mental health and overall well-being. Primarily focused on personalized one-on-one virtual healing, Jennifer's sessions stand out to her comprehensive approach. She not only performs Reiki and chakra balancing, but also follows up with wellness coaching, bringing more peace, balance, and harmony into their lives. Jennifer's goal as a Reiki energy healer is to help you heal so you can embody true self-love, happiness, and abundance in your life. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm super excited. So for everyone who met Lana, I just felt like it was just so necessary for everyone to know who will be facilitating this retreat that we're having in December in Englewood, Florida. This beautiful retreat that's going to be at the foundation, a transformational and life-changing experience. Okay, so what better way to know who you're putting your hands with, if not knowing the retreats themselves, right? The retreat facilitators. So today we have Jennifer. And Jennifer, please tell me a little bit about your backstory. Who are you?
Yes, so I decided to get into Reiki because of some things that I've experienced when I was younger. So when I was younger, my father unfortunately passed away when I was 11 and very unexpectedly. And of course, you're really confused at that time. You go through all the motions. You don't realize it's actually happened and it's real and it doesn't feel like real life. You kind of feel like you're like in a blur. So to add fuel to the fire, my mother, she was unable to take care of me and my brother. So we had to go live in multiple people's homes, almost like orphans. And some of the family was great. You know, some of them were unconditionally loving and they included us. And then some were physically and mentally abusive. So we kind of, were confused, like we didn't get the consistent love, consistent care, and the consistent home that we needed. So I was really, really confused and really had a very low self-worth because I thought that, everything was my fault, that, like I could have done more. I could have done more to save my father. I could have done, more to protect me and my brother because I'm older. And it's just like all this stuff started weighing on me. And um, my family, half of my family are immigrants. I'm actually the first one to be born in the United States. So that side of the family I spent a lot of time with, but it's not common for us to really talk about our feelings. So we're like, just kind of keep it to ourselves. So all of the things just kept piling on and I never really healed from it. So I decided to numb it with alcohol. I decided to numb it with other fun things, being originally from Miami. So I had fun, but it was not the best way to heal. So in my mid-20s, I decided that I no longer wanted to drink as much anymore. I no longer wanted to go out and associate with people that didn't really value me because I was so sick and tired of being a victim. I was sick and tired of being a martyr. And I realized that I'm not going to get better. Nobody's going to hand you this box and say, okay, you're better now. You have to heal yourself. So I decided to do so many different things, starting with talk therapy, which although it's a beautiful tool, it didn't really get to the core of what I needed. And I do think it would have been great if there was other elements with it. It wasn't enough for what I needed. So I started diving into spirituality more and learning about crystals and essential oils and yoga and meditation. And it was very challenging at first because when you have all these thoughts going in your head, you don't know how to quiet the mind. So it definitely took a long time for me to learn meditation, but I soon began to get the hang of it. And I started feeling a little bit better. It wasn't until I was introduced into Reiki that is when my life changed. So a friend brought me to a Reiki circle. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm down to try. Like I'm, little miss, like I'm up for anything kind of thing. So I tried it and I will tell you, was never one for crying and displaying my emotions. That was the first thing that actually allowed me to release and to feel better for longer. Like it was the first time in my life that I had actually felt good for like a week. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go again next week because I want to continue to help heal myself. So I started doing that. I probably went for about 6 months to a year. And I realized I was like, you know what, this has actually really helped me and transformed me. So I'm really curious into seeing what would happen if I got my certification in it to continue to heal myself. So soon after I got my first certification and I did my like training hours, the first certification allows you to kind of heal yourself, like to work on yourself and to learn the core principles of it. I realized like there was no way that I can just heal myself, because this has been so transformative for me that I wanted to be able to help heal others too. So after I did all my training hours, I decided to get my second certification in Reiki, and so that way I can actually help heal other people, help heal animals and other things as well. So I didn't really expect to do much with it. I was just like, if somebody needs healing, I'm here. But about, was it like 4 years ago, I decided that I was like, you know what, I want to make this into a business, because I really think that there's a need. And I really think I found my true purpose. I had to go through hell in order to come out of the other side, for me to be able to make it my purpose, my life mission, to help heal other people, whether they've experienced trauma, they've experienced low self-worth or self-esteem. It's my job and my duty to really help them and give them multiple tools that they can use to help and transform their lives the way that my life was transformed. And that's my purpose, my mission, and that's when Zen Gen Holistic was created.
Oh, what a beautiful story. That is so awesome. And being from Miami, I can completely relate. I also was raised in Miami. So I grew up in Miami 18
Mhm.
years. And I also come from from an immigrant family. Are you Hispanic by any
Yes.
chance?
Yes, I'm
Yeah? Where are you
Panamanian.
from?
Panama.
Panama.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. So I was raised Cuban. And
Okay.
so I can understand a little bit of that background where, going to therapy, it was like seeing the shrink. And that was like, yeah, you don't talk about your feelings. Like they don't really
Ooh,
matter.
yeah,
You have to, you just have to deal with it, suck it up. Right. So yeah,
exactly.
that was a lot of trauma growing up with that. So I can totally relate with you on that. I do have a question because I do want to kind of dive in a little bit with this. And please just share as much as you're comfortable with sharing.
Okay.
Because I want my audience to kind of get a feel for what were some of your core wounds that you had to really transcend in order to get to a point where you were comfortable enough to integrate not only that healing, but then be able to provide that same service for others. What were those? And I'm going to give a number, but if that number doesn't resonate, don't worry. What were three core wounds that you really had to work through?
Definitely abandonment. I had this a big abandonment wound because my father died, and I'm kind of like, well, my father was a primary caregiver too, so he was the one that like fed us and that took us to the beach, took us on trips and stuff like that, and he was the one that my brother and I saw the most of. Even though my parents really lived together, it just he was there to primarily take care of us. So the abandonment of that, and then not to mention the extra abandonment, from my mother. She wasn't unable to take care of us, so I felt abandoned from her as well. So there was that. I think the low self-worth and self-esteem, because since me and my brother, we were from an immigrant father who was not a citizen of the United States, who was Afro-Latino, was very different than the other side of my family. So we were a little bit of discriminated against, and we were the only ones that were getting hit in our family. We were the only kids that were getting hit, and like, and it was for stupid stuff, like not even just for being a kid. I remember just specifically, I didn't like wearing dresses. I was very tomboy. I was not very feminine. And I never was when I was little. I don't know why. I hated wearing dresses. So I would get in trouble because I didn't want to wear a dress to church. It just made me feel uncomfortable. So there was that. So there was that self-esteem thinking like, okay, like I'm never going to be good enough. Like I'm never like, I'm never going to be loved enough, the way that everybody else is being loved. So there was definitely that. And then I think my self image as well. I'm really tall. My family are like Amazons, not all of them, but I'm 5'9". So, my family were really, half of us are really tall. The other half are a lot smaller. So I always had this like weird kind of self-image, because I was like really tall and I was kind of thin. And then like I was made fun of because I, looked different. So I definitely had that like a little bit of self-image. And then, like as young children, unfortunately, like especially girls, we're sexualized a lot. And I've had like some family members make comments of my body while I was a minor, like talking about like my boobs and stuff. And I'm like, you realize that I'm like just a child? Like, I'm sorry that I don't have boobs for you to look at. Like it very inappropriate. So I felt very like, I don't know, just like that core wound was like abandonment, self-worth, self-conscious, kind of self-image. So I needed to really heal that and just really kind of bring it home and be comfortable with myself. So what Reiki was able to do was to break down the blockages that I like was feeling about the emotions and the abandonment for me to actually heal. So I did a lot of, with Reiki, I did a lot of journaling and getting to the core of like, why do I feel this way? Is it a valid feeling? And if it is a valid feeling, like how can I like switch that to make it more like how I'm feeling now? Like I'm trying to find the words for it, like when it's in your brain and you're trying to find the words. But so I did a lot of journaling and like getting to the root causes of things and like to why I was feeling that way. And then also like a lot of meditation and introspection. So with that, I did a lot of self-love coaching as well, in addition to Reiki. And that's why I'm so passionate about like self-love and self-image and self-compassion, because I had to learn like nobody is going to love you more than you need to love yourself. Like, and it's impossible for you really to truly love someone if you don't know what it is to love yourself. So I was like, okay, maybe I feel like I need to chase love, or I feel like I need to chase attention because I don't have it within myself. So, again, with the Reiki, breaking down those blockages and the core wounds, I was able to really start to value myself. And I started cutting out, oh my God, this is the biggest thing that people don't realize. I started cutting out toxic people. So toxic friends and toxic family members, I decided to stop talking to. Once I realized like they were not beneficial for my self-image, my person as a self, like I was like, if they're not good for my mental health and you make me feel worse about myself, I'm sorry, you can't come with me on this next chapter of my journey. So I had to do a lot of kind of cutting out and journaling and getting to the root cause, meditation, and of course with the Reiki to release the blockages. So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for being so vulnerable. That is so important nowadays too, to just be open and honest about it. And when I say, it's funny how everything comes together, because there's a reason why it was you and why it was Lana, because there's parts of your story that I can deeply, deeply relate to, because I've personally experienced the exact same wounds:
Oh my God, you give
abandonment,
me chills.
self-esteem, and definitely a lost sense of identity, not
Yeah.
knowing who I truly was and what I was here to do, and very feeling self-conscious all the time. I completely understand that. Crazy, but not crazy. Coincidence, but never a coincidence, right?
Right.
Because everything
Right.
happens on purpose. Okay, beautiful. So Jennifer, if you can kind of just give us like a little mini, I know that you explained why you do it and how you do it, but specifically for those who may not know, what is Reiki itself?
So what Reiki is, it's an energy healing. So I don't physically put my hands on you. I use universal light source energy. So I'm a conduit for the energy. Just keep in mind, because everything around us is energy, we're energy, the universe is energy. So I channel like pure love and light energy, and I just allow it to facilitate through me. I'm a conduit, and allow it to, work its magic into you the way, however you may need it. So I don't physically need to be in the room with someone. I could do a lot of virtual healings. I can work with somebody that's in a different time zone. It doesn't really matter because it's all energy. There's no like time and space. It's just, this doesn't matter because it's energy. So I use that universal love and light source energy, and I'm a conduit, and I just channel it in. So I'm not using my own energy, even though I have amazing energy, I could say that now. But I use the universal light source energy because there is a lot I mean, I don't think we realize how much energy is out there. Like, and it's ours. Like we don't have to ask permission to use the energy because we are energy. This is just a part of us. So I just I'm just a conduit. I allow the energy to go through me, and I allow it to heal you however you may need the healing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Understand that. And for those who are interested, Jennifer is offering personalized one-on-one Reiki sessions during the retreat. So if you guys are interested of receiving more one-on-one support with her, you guys are able to you can add on that package as part of the retreat. Okay. So Jennifer, tell me a little bit, not me and the audience, but tell us a little bit about what your vision is for the retreat. What do you see? What do you see happening? What do you want to facilitate? What do you see for this retreat?
So first and foremost, I really want to create a close-knit group of community and a beautiful network where we can all really just allow ourselves to be vulnerable with each other. I'm not gonna lie, there are like a lot of aspects of my past that I share, but I think on a recorded, like where it's not just one-on-one conversation, I actually was able to share more with you than I have shared with other people. Like, because I mean, I don't really like to talk about my body issues, but I mean, they were there. Like, I don't have them anymore, but so I want us to be able to be open and have that vulnerable community with each other where we can feel safe. So that's my first vision of what I really want to create with this retreat. Another one is just a healing and safe place. I'm going to be offering Reiki circles for the group. Again, I'll be doing personalized one-on-one for those who want to add that on, and get personalized tips and different ways that they can heal whatever chakra is blocked. But I want to be able to come together and use a collaborative energy to kind of help heal. Because remember, it's all energy, and I want us to all create a really safe and positive environment. And then also utilizing a lot of journal prompts, because I know that that has helped me. But I also do know that journaling is not for everyone. So maybe they can use that time instead of actually physically writing. Maybe they could tap in and really feel those emotions and embody those emotions with meditation. So I want to be able to offer journaling and a very deep visualization and meditation for them to really pinpoint whatever's holding them back, so that way they can release it and be more open to receiving that more love and abundance and happiness into their life.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what do you see as the outcome? How are they going to leave the retreat?
I think that everyone is going to leave feeling very refreshed, feeling very healed, and taking tools that they can use at home, to continue to heal themselves, or whenever they feel like they may be triggered a little bit. But I also want everybody to leave feeling that they've made a whole bunch of new best friends and a really great community that they can keep in touch with in the future.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so Jennifer, we're gonna end this with just having a few fun questions. So first things first, what is the fun fact about you that nobody knows?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say nobody knows, but I don't know if my audience knows this. My favorite color is orange. And I know that's not a lot of people's favorite colors. They're like, orange, really? But I'm like, I love orange. I love the brightness and the happiness of orange. And it's orange is associated with our sacral chakras, which it's our creativity, and it's a really great area for us to kind of create abundance, because that's where our womb is, and where we can create life. So orange is my favorite color.
Oh, wonderful. That is very interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've met somebody thus far in my whole entire life in which their
That
favorite
orange is
color
their
is
favorite color,
orange.
right?
So that was a good one. Awesome. Okay, what is your spirit animal?
Oh, I actually have one for my masculine and one for my feminine. So my masculine is a wolf and my feminine is a deer.
Really? And why
Yeah.
those two?
I did a shaman meditation years and years ago, and they both came to me and they coexisted within each other. Because I mean, we think that like, oh, I have to be more masculine or I have to be more feminine because X, Y, and Z. And that's not the case. It's about creating that balance. And during that meditation, I just resonated with the wolf, and they hunt in packs, and then they work together in packs, and they protect each other. And I really loved that energy of the wolf, that they're very strong, but they're also very nurturing with each other. And then the deers, there's just so much elegance about a deer, and they're just beautiful. They're just so beautiful, and they're feminine, and they glide, and they're just so graceful, and they're just not a really aggressive animal. So they just really just flow in that feminine energy. And I don't know, during my meditation, they just seem to coexist. I know in reality, they don't always coexist, but in my meditation and my imagination, they coexist. And that's just the balance that I try to strike in my life.
Okay, beautiful. All right, these last two questions. What does love mean to you?
Oh, love. I love love. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I am like, in my head, I'm a hopeless romantic. But love is honestly, it starts with self-love and self-compassion. Is just love. The only way for love, for me to experience or give it, is unconditionally. Like that's the only form of love to me. Like, I mean, yes, there is conditional love, but if I love something or someone, it's going to be unconditional. And that means I accept you for your faults. I accept you for exactly who you are. And I love you even if there are times where you may not fully love yourself in that moment. So I think that love is just a beautiful, and it's a very high frequency as well. So it's a very high energy and a frequency. So I love is just, it's unconditional. It's love, compassion. It's all of the above. I love love.
Love, love. Yes. Okay. So, what does life mean to you?
Oh, life is full of adventure. Life can be a roller coaster, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be scary. It goes through a lot of up and down, but it is nothing but an adventure. And when we decide to be the co-creator of our life, then we can really make magic happen. And I think that's when so many possibilities and opportunities and abundance can really form into our life, when we decide to take the wheel and say, hey, universe or God, whoever you may believe in, like, I'm going to create this with you. Like, you just lead the way. And being open to adventure and fun, and just trying to be like lighthearted and kind of go with the flow. And going with the flow is one thing I had to learn through life, is to go with the flow and not try to control things. And then just be open to seeing what the possibility is, because although we may have a specific vision for what our life should look like, there are so many different possibilities, and it can look even greater than what we anticipated. So life is an adventure.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, well, there you guys have it. This is Jennifer, one of our retreat co-hosts. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this conversation just as much as we did. All of her information of how you guys can currently connect with her will be in the show notes along with her bio. But other than that, Jennifer, thank you for coming on. Thank you for telling us your story. Thank you so much for being vulnerable. And I'm really excited to be doing this with you guys. Again, like I said, December 5th through the 8th in Englewood, Florida, guys. Empower and transform. That is the main intention of this retreat. So come join us. Jennifer, thank you again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.